Antonio, a merchant of Venice, was the kindest and most courteous man in the city. His best friend was a nobleman named Bassanio, a fine young man but a little extravagant. Bassanio nearly used up all his wealth that his father had left him by spending lavishly on good clothes and other luxuries. Bassanio loved a beautiful rich woman named Portia. He wanted to win her hand and thought he could do so by buying her rich gifts, so he asked Antonio for some money. Although in favor of the marriage, Antonio had no money to lend Bassanio just then, as he was waiting for his ships to bring in their cargo. Since Bassanio needed the money urgently, Antonio said he would borrow it from Shylock, a professional moneylender. Enter Bassanio with Shylock.
3,000 ducats.
Aye, sir, for 3 months, for which, as I told you, Antonio shall be bound.
Antonio shall be bound? Well, Antonio is a good man.
Have you heard anyone say he's not?
No. My meaning in saying he's a good man is that his worth is sufficient. Yet a lot of his wealth is not in cash. Most of it is invested in cargoes that are in ships bound for faraway ports such as Tripolis, the Indies, Mexico, and England. After all, ships are only wooden boats and sailors are only men. There are pirates, storms, and possible shipwrecks to be taken into account. However, despite all this, his wealth is sufficient enough. I think I can take his bond for 3,000 ducats.
Enter Antonio.
This is Senor Antonio.
I hate him because he lends out money free of interest and brings down the rates for all us moneylenders in Venice. If I once catch him at a disadvantage, I can feed the ancient grudge I bear him. He betrays me in public where all merchants gather, criticizing my bargains and my fairly gained profit, which he calls interest. Cursed be my tribe if I forgive him. A fair good morning to you, Signor. We were just speaking of you.
Do you know how much money we want?
Yes, 3,000 ducats for 3 months. But I'm surprised. I thought you neither lent nor borrowed money with interest. You have publicly criticized me for doing so many times and called me a cutthroat and a dog. Now you have come to borrow money from me?
I still don't approve of what you do, but my friend needs money urgently. So do not lend it to me, except as you would lend it to an enemy. But then you will be able to take the penalty if I'm not able to pay it in time.
Just listen to him. He's so angry. Yet I want to make friends with him. Just forget the past and lend him the money without taking a doit of interest. Just come with me to the notary and we will sign the bond in a merry spot. If you do not repay me on the stipulated day, let the penalty be a pound of your flesh to be cut off from wherever part of the body I choose.
Then I will sign such a bond and say there's much kindness in you, Shylock.
You should not sign such a bond for my sake. I'd rather do without the money.
What sort of people are these whose own hard hearts make them suspect the kindness of others? What use is a pound of human flesh to anyone? I'm only doing this as a gesture of friendship. If you accept it, well and good. If not, farewell.
Yes, Shylock, I will sign the bond.
Exit Shylock.
He grows crying.
I mistrust fair terms and a villain's mind.
Come on. There can be no dismay in this. My ships come home a month before the day.
A lot has happened since the last scene. Bassanio has visited Belmont, a town in Italy, using the money he had borrowed from Antonio to make a grand appearance before Portia. He also wooed and won the fair lady. The scene opens just after Bassanio and Portia have been married. As they stand out in front of Portia's fine house, surrounded by friends and attendants, a messenger from Venice rides up to Bassanio with a letter.
Sir, there is a letter for you from Antonio.
Bassanio opens the letter to read it. He is visibly upset by the contents.
There must be some really bad news, some good friend in trouble of ours, for Bassanio to react this way. What's the matter, my lord? Please tell me.
Do you remember my dear friend Antonio, about whom I told you? The generous friend who was bound to repay my loan or forfeit his own pound of flesh? This is what he has written.
Dear Bassanio, my ships have all met with misfortune. My creditors are demanding repayment, and my bond to Shylock is forfeit. And since in paying it, it is impossible that I should live, I would like to see you once before I die. So make haste to Venice, Antonio.
What is the sum he owes on your behalf?
3,000 ducats.
3? Take 6, take 9, before you let such a good friend be harmed for your sake.
It is of no use, madam. Shylock refuses to take anything but the pound of flesh.
I must hasten away to Antonio's side and try and plead with Shylock.
Come, Nerissa, we have work, which Bassanio knows nothing of.
Why, madam, what can we do?
We can try to enlist help of my cousin, Dr. Bellevio, a learned lawyer. He will advise us.
The Duke, Antonio, Bassanio, Shylock, and many other courtiers are present, trying in vain to change Shylock's mind. Shylock, unmoved by their pleas, is sharpening his knife on the sole of his shoe, ready to cut off a pound of Antonio's flesh. Even the Duke is powerless to refuse Shylock his pound of flesh, as changing the law would harm trade in Venice. However, the Duke has called Bellerio to settle this case. A messenger has just come from Bellerio to say that although he is ill, he has sent a young lawyer, Dr. Balthazar.
Enter Dr. Balthazar, who is Portia in disguise, attended by Nerissa, who is disguised as a lawyer's clerk. Portia has come to court dressed as Dr. Balthazar in order to help her husband and his friend.
You are welcome, young Dr. Balthazar. Are you familiar with the dispute the court is trying to settle today?
I am, indeed. Which is the merchant and which is the moneylender?
Antonia and Shylock stand for.
The terms of your case are strange indeed, yet within the law. You stand in great danger from him, do you not?
Aye, so he says.
Do you agree to signing the bond?
I do.
Then Shylock must be merciful.
What can force me to be merciful? Tell me that.
Mercy is a quality that cannot be forced. It should fall as gently and naturally as the rain falls on the earth below it. Mercy is doubly blessed, for it blesses the ones who show mercy as well as for the ones who receive it. It is one of the qualities of God himself, and human beings come closest to God when they show it. Therefore, Shylock, though you ask for justice from this court, remember that if all of us only got what we deserved, we would be in a sorry state. Therefore, we should learn to show it to others.
My deeds upon my head. I demand a law and my pound of flesh.
Most heartily, I beseech the court to pronounce the judgment.
Why then, it is this. You should prepare yourself for the knife. Do you have the scales ready, Shylock?
I have them, oh excellent young judge. Come prepare.
Wait a little, Shylock. This bond does not give you a single drop of Antonio's blood. So if in cutting off the pound of flesh, one drop of Antonio's blood is spilled, your money, land, and estate are all forfeited to the government of Venice. Also, you must cut off exactly 1 pound of flesh, neither more nor less by a hair's breadth, or you will die.
Wise and upright young judge.
Is that the law?
You shall see the act. Since you ask for justice, you shall receive justice more than you desire.
I take this offer then. Pay the bond thrice and let Antonio go.
Wait, Shylock, the law has yet another hold on you. According to the laws of Venice, if a foreigner seeks the life of a citizen by direct or indirect means, the person against whom he has contrived shall seize one half of his property, while the other half goes to the state, and the offender's life lies in the mercy of the Duke only.
Then take my life and everything with it. Taking away my means of sustenance is just the same as taking away my house. Similarly, you take my life when you take the means whereby I live.
You shall see that we have kind spirits. I pardon your life before you even ask.
Are you contented, Shylock?
I am content.
Clerk, draw a deed of gift.
The matter is resolved with a fine charged on Shylock by the state. He also forfeits some of his money for plotting against Antonio. All ends well with some of Antonio's ships returning, and Bassanio is amazed that his wife was the young lord in disguise.